So on 3, do a snap when you're near your microphone.
I can't snap.
Do a clap then.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of Why Would You Show Me This? I am Will.
And I'm Dani.
And Dani's second to last pick this episode. And boy, did she pick a doozy.
Yep, I did.
So why don't you please tell everyone the synopsis of what we picked?
So I picked Popeye, starring Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall. And the synopsis, I'm going to read part of the synopsis because the synopsis is incredibly long. Like, every synopsis we found on here is really long.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, a synopsis isn't supposed to tell you what happens in the entire film. And that is exactly what this does, which is really weird.
If you go on Wikipedia, that's what they think.
Yeah, that's not what it is to me. But anyway, Popeye, a squinty-eyed, corncob pipe-smoking, spinach-hating, mumbling sailor man with overly muscular forearms, partly the result of genetics. Okay, somebody wrote this as a joke. Has just arrived in the port of Sweet Haven. He has been sailing the 7 seas in search of his father, who abandoned him when he was 2. That's really all I'm going to get into.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that happens. And like I said, it's all like detailed in this, but really, like I said, that's not a plot summary. That's just telling you what happens in the entire movie, and that's not what a summary is. Anyway, so what did you think of the movie?
I was 100% perplexed by this film because I have absolutely no fucking clue who the audience for this movie is.
I don't either. I people like Popeye, I don't know.
I guess if you're a Popeye fanatic, then you'll like this.
It sounded like you said pot pie.
Pot pie. If you like pot pies, you're gonna want to watch Popeye. Oh god. I mean, it tries to be a musical.
Yes.
It's relatively faithful to the cartoon and the comic strip.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It doesn't make it an enjoyable movie.
No.
I almost fell asleep a few times. I have seen avant-garde films that are easier to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Easier to understand what the fuck they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have no clue what this movie was going for. I have no clue who this was for. I have no clue. It's not for children. It's definitely not for children. It's not adult enough to be for adults. It's not childish enough to be for adolescents. I don't know. I don't know what Robert Altman was thinking. I honestly don't know. I don't remember half the movie, and we just watched it.
No, we didn't.
The best part of the movie is the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is it's been a while since I watched a movie that I had no clue. There's no tone, there's no clear tone in the movie. There's some weird like voiceover in just one scene. There is a long dragged out joke and near the end of the movie that it's just a mess.
It is. It definitely is.
Gigantic mess.
What about it almost put you to sleep?
It's boring.
Yeah, explain what's boring about it.
The fact of the matter that we don't need a Popeye origin story. I mean, you could have just came in, Popeye, olive oil, together. Popeye has fights with Pluto. Start right there. It's an hour of shit before that. And then when Olive Oil and Popeye do get together, the only reason they're together is because they found a fucking baby. That's it. It's just they found a baby together. They're together.
It brings them together.
Sure. Sure.
There's a
Sweet
scene.
pea.
There's a scene in which it like is supposed to be implied that like the baby is bringing them together. Yeah, I know.
It's just like I feel terrible saying this because I love Robin Williams. Shelley Duvall's great. Robert Altman, actually, unfortunately, this is the first Robert Altman film I've watched, and it's probably the worst way to be introduced to his films. It's just, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
And I looked up on IMDb. People call this an understated masterpiece.
I don't agree.
I have no clue how anybody could watch this movie and enjoy it.
There's one thing that occurs throughout the entire movie that really bothers me, which is the everyone talking over each other in scenes. So much so that you cannot tell half of what anybody is saying because they're all talking over each other. And it happens a lot in this movie.
Yes.
And that makes it hard to watch because you're just like, I can't understand what anybody's saying. What is important about this scene? What's going on?
Yeah, and sometimes there's just wide shots of a crowd of people with like disembodied voices saying shit that has nothing to do with anything.
That's true. That happens quite a few times as well. There's a lot of ADR because I feel because a lot of this was filmed outdoors.
Yes.
So because Sweet Haven is a port town. And they have taxes for everything, apparently. Like, as soon as Popeye gets there, they tax him for basically everything they possibly can. And even things that no one should be taxed for.
Yes. Question tax.
Yeah. And I feel that they're only doing that because of Bluto.
I guess so. I mean, Bluto doesn't have to pay shit.
That's the thing, though, is, like, I think he takes all of their money. And so they all tax each other to try and get money from each other because Bluto is a greedy fuck.
That wasn't clear.
No, it wasn't. That's a guess too. I don't even know if that's true. That's just what I'm surmising.
Yes. Is it Bluto or Pluto?
It's Bluto.
It's with a B.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm not the biggest Popeye fan.
No. But I even feel like they don't portray Olive Oyl the right way in the beginning because in the cartoon, and maybe I'm remembering it wrong, I never like got the sense that she was like a snobby bitch. And they kind of make her seem like that in this.
In the beginning, for sure. Up until the baby.
Yeah.
Up until Sweet Pea.
Especially because she doesn't have to pay any taxes. I guess neither does any of her family for some reason.
Because of Bluto. Because she's with him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
There is so many attempts at comedy.
There are a lot.
And I don't get it. Like, it sucks, like, when Robin Williams cannot elevate your film.
It's true, yeah.
There's something very wrong. And he just couldn't do it. Like, there was nothing, maybe he wasn't allowed to ad-lib. Once or twice, it felt like he ad-libbed something. Did, yeah. I think, right before they get Sweet Pea, Olive Oyl sneaks up behind him, and she's like, "You scared the wits out of me," and he says, "I almost knocked them out of you too." I mean, that's one of the I can count on my hand the things that made me laugh in this movie, and I'm pretty sure that's a Robin Williams ad lib.
Probably,
I would think so. I would put my money on it for sure.
There's also a moment where when he finds Sweet Pea and he's reading the note that's on Sweet Pea. And the baby says something it says something that sounds like baby, like it babbles that sounds like baby. And he says, yeah, it's a baby, that's you. And he ad-libs that, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
But,
I want to know what you liked about this as a child, because Dani, I guess she watched this when she was a kid, and she was like, oh, well, I'll pick that for the podcast this week.
Because I remember enjoying it when I was younger. No, it doesn't hold up. It's very boring. I do agree with you. It's very boring. There's a lot of stuff in this that happens that doesn't need to.
No. Like, the whole first hour can go.
Pretty much, yeah.
The whole first hour can go.
Oh, yeah. And I mean...
We know these characters. That's the thing. Is that anybody who's anybody if you were born at a certain time, you know who Popeye is, you know who Olive Oyl is, you know Bluto, you know the story, and you know how they interact with one another. You don't need to have an origin story for all these characters. We already know.
Well, apparently there's like this guy who's like the Commodore that no one has met. And he's like also overseeing a bunch of stuff in the port as well, which spoilers, if anybody...
Spoilers for Popeye!
Yeah, spoilers, but the Commodore ends up being Popeye's dad, who he's been looking for the entire time.
Who is the person who delivers the very long monologue that is also supposed to be funny, but is just fucking grating.
I really feel like that guy was trying, and I shouldn't say that guy, that actor, but I really feel like that moment was trying to like channel like George Carlin or some shit like that.
I'm not sure. I'm not giving any of the actors flack in this. I don't think any of this was the actors'
No, it's
fault.
not them. It's everything that was written.
It's the script and it's direction. I mean, it almost feels like it's like if you take out all of like the background music and everything from this movie, like you can just see how bad it is. Like nothing works. Not a single thing in this movie. Well, I'm sorry. The end. I liked the end. But other than that, nothing works in this movie for me.
Also should mention how much money was spent on these sets and ships and boats and all kinds of stuff.
Do you know the budget?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, just looking at it, I'm sure you can imagine what the budget was like for this.
Let's see how much it lost.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much it lost, because I know this didn't do super well.
Its budget was $20 million, and its opening weekend was $6 million.
That's pretty bad.
It did eventually gross 49, almost $50 million. So it made its budget back eventually.
It didn't
but that opening weekend, whew.
Yeah, that didn't do as well as they probably hoped it was going to do.
No. And you were talking about, it's funny that you showed me this one because of Flintstones, Viva Rock Vegas. It's kind of the same thing.
Lots of big sets, big costumes, and
based on a cartoon,
and well done.
Well done, yes.
Well
I mean,
done.
that's the thing. The Sweet Haven, it doesn't look bad. It looks good. I believe they shot in Italy.
They shot in Malta, so yeah.
Yeah, so everything looks great. But it's just, the script is nowhere near where it should have been.
Whoever did the costumes also did a fantastic job, because they recreated pretty much all of the costumes from the cartoon down to what the shoes look like. Like Olive Oyl's shoes are my favorite thing.
Oh yeah, you want a pair of those shoes?
I really do, because they're just so cartoony and amazing looking. I love them a lot.
Yeah.
The baby in this
baby's very cute.
Oh my goodness, that baby is very cute.
Yeah.
I do feel like there were moments where they put that baby in peril for filming.
But they held that baby was on a hook above the water.
Yeah.
At least it looked like that.
There were some moments where it was like, Oh yeah. Anything for a SAG card.
Hey, that baby's last name was Hurt, so it's part of the Hurt family. Maybe that was John Hurt's great-grandson.
Sure. What were some things that you liked about this? Because we went through some things you didn't like. So what did you like?
I don't like 95% of this movie.
Right, I know.
I like that the quip that I said from Robin. The baby was cute. I really do think that once Shelley Duvall once we get through the kind of snooty Olive Oyl, she plays her very well.
She does.
The voice, just the mannerisms, I think she did a really good job.
Although there are times where she's doing it so much, and I'm just like, stop.
Yeah, but that's kind of how it was.
I get it. I get the cartoon, but at the same time, like for parents, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, enough. I get it. You know what I mean? We get that she does the Olive Oyl voice. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, the actor that played Bluto was perfect casting.
I can't remember his name, unfortunately.
I can't remember his name either.
But you know him from other stuff.
Yeah, I mean he's that guy that you're like, oh, I know you from a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And the end.
Yes. The end was your favorite part.
Yes, because it got interesting finally. Literally, it takes until the end for Popeye to finally eat his spinach, which I thought should have happened way earlier in the movie.
Well, it's an origin story, so.
Of course, it's a dumb fucking origin story, because we need a Popeye origin story.
We do. It's the origin story you didn't know you needed.
Oh, we didn't. But yeah, he eats spinach and he fucking fights a octopus, and it's awesome. The octopus looks good.
The octopus looks all right.
I mean, it's a fake octopus. It looks good for what the movie is.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
But that's the best part of the movie, and it's the last 15 minutes.
It just reminds me so much of Ed Wood.
Yes, yeah. But it's just a slog of a movie.
It is, yeah. I remember, I even told you before we started the movie, when we went over to it, I said, from what I remember, this movie is fairly lengthy though, and it's just about 2 hours.
It's
right?
hour 53.
Yeah, so and there's a lot in there that doesn't need to be in there. And also there's just a lot of scenes where nothing actually seems to happen.
No.
And although I have to admit, I was very entertained when they first started singing, and I turned to you and I went, "Oh, you didn't know this was a musical, did you?" And he went, "No."
Had no clue it was a musical. And I still wouldn't call it a musical.
I mean, I probably wouldn't either.
But I mean, Harry Nilsson is the guy who did the music, though, and I guess if you have someone do music, I guess it is technically a musical.
Well, if the people burst into song, it's usually a musical. It's classified as a musical.
More than once, they do it at least 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I guess it's a fucking musical then. It's a boring musical. None of the songs stick in your head.
No, that's true. They don't. I can't name you any of the songs.
I remember.
Wait, I remember Everything Is Food.
Oh, it's because your favorite, yeah.
That's because it's absolutely, it's a weird song.
I'll pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that the lyrics are actually Everything Is Food is hilarious to me.
Yeah. I think no one cared during this movie. I mean,
I think everybody was just like,
the
whatever.
people behind the scenes, like I read on IMDb, the main reason this movie got made is because they couldn't get the rights to Annie. Somebody else got the rights, and they decided to look what other newspaper comic strip can they make a movie out of.
Yes.
And they landed on Popeye. And I mean, that's not a good way to make a movie. This is a mistake that Hollywood should have learned back in 1980. Don't just make a movie because it's a property that people already know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You need to make a good movie, and if it's not a good movie, then fuck it. It's going to make $6 million. It's opening weekend when you put $20 million in plus whatever advertising is.
How do you think the actors felt?
I would hope that they felt good, because I think all the actors actually, like, this was Robin Williams' first starring role, so I'm sure he was very excited, and he obviously, he put his all into it. Even though he had to ADR most of his lines because you couldn't hear him. But everybody in front of the camera, I think, did a good job. I think it was everybody behind the camera that did the bad job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. Did you, was this another movie where you felt like your brain hurt afterward?
Well, yeah, just because I just can't figure out for the life of me who it's for.
I don't know.
It's not cartoony enough to be for kids.
No.
And it's not like it doesn't have any of the innuendo that would be for adults either.
I don't feel like kids would want to sit through this.
No, it's boring as fuck. They would get up in the theater and run around and cause a ruckus.
A
ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
All right, so should we rate it, or did you want to yell a little bit more about how much you don't like this movie?
No,
because people enjoy that.
I guess so. I mean, this movie wasn't angering.
No,
this movie was.
No, there's nothing angering about this movie.
No, it's a sleep aid.
Yeah,
like
you told me, you was like, next time I need to go to sleep, I'm just gonna put this movie on.
Yeah, because like nothing about it makes me want to pay attention to the screen.
Yeah.
Nothing, not even Robin. And that really is hard for me to say. Because, everybody loves Robin. And
of course.
He's always great on screen. But this movie just, No.
Well,
it wasn't.
And before we rate it, to point out an issue, I think that lends itself to that is there's not enough Popeye.
Exactly. Yeah, like you would think there's a bunch of scenes with Popeye, but Popeye's like for the first hour 15, it's scarce.
Yeah.
There's not a lot with him. There's much
true.
more with the townspeople who we could give a fuck less about.
That's true.
Like earlier when I said about the voiceover, there's a dude who's just a background character. He's staring at something on a board, and then all of a sudden we hear his inner thoughts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why? I have no fucking clue. But we do, and it adds nothing to the story.
That's one of Olive Oil's brothers, I believe, who's gonna box the traveling boxer.
That's what he was looking at, the traveling. I forgot all about the fucking boxer. Popeye even fights him. Does he eat spinach to fight him? No, he doesn't.
No, but he still.
He should have.
He still kicked.
Should have.
I think that's the reason you like the end the most, is because it has the most Popeye.
Yeah, the end is Popeye. Like, if you like the cartoon, the end is Popeye.
You just watch the end.
Just watch the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, don't watch the entire movie. You don't need to.
You really don't.
No.
It's a bunch of bullshit that doesn't even matter. It's not funny. The songs aren't good.
No. Well, except I love Shelley Duvall singing "He Needs Me." I love that because it's just her.
She's very cute,
being adorable. You know what I mean? So I love that, and I love the fact that she doesn't sing specifically well.
No, she's very off-key.
And that's even more adorable, you know what I mean? As if Shelley Duvall could be any more adorable.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, I guess we'll rate it.
Okay.
1.5.
Wow, alright.
1.5 out of 10.
Damn.
I was debating between 1 and 2, so I figured to go right through the middle there.
I'll give it a 2.
Yeah. What would your child self have given this?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you love it? Was this a movie that you watched often?
I watched it when it was on, if that makes sense.
Okay, like on the movie channel?
Yeah. But I mean, we watched it in my family as well. Like, my mom and my sister, as far as I know, also like this film.
Mm-hmm. Will they be crushed to hear this?
No. No. I would love to know the last time either of them watched it. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of one of those films, that you remember as a kid, remember watching it. You remember bits and pieces. Like, I told you I had a favorite part and it hadn't come up yet, and then it did, where she sings. And that's really one of the parts that in the end sticks out the most to me because, it's Popeye.
This is probably a movie where you remember the end and you go, oh, that's a great movie.
Yes.
Because you just remember the end.
Yes, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay. It doesn't hold up. There's stuff from my childhood that does, and there's stuff that doesn't.
Yes.
And that's just how it works.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Not all nostalgia is good nostalgia.
No, I've had to come to terms with some things.
I've seen some shit.
I've seen some things. All right, Popeye. A sad 2 and 1.5 from both of us.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's okay to be okay with okay movies.
This is not an okay movie. This is a fucking boring movie.
It's a boring movie, but it's an okay movie.
I wouldn't call it okay.
Okay.
It's below okay for me.
I would.
This is okay movies I can put on and be like, this is cool.
Yeah, I guess
I would not put Popeye on again ever.
Oh yeah? I don't ever want to watch this again.
Never. If anything, I'll watch the last part.
Okay.
And that's it.
Understood.
Yes.
All right.
All right. That's Popeye, everybody.
Popeye.
Thank you for listening and joining us this week. Dani is going to have one more movie. One more, and then it's my turn again.
Oh no.
And that will be fun for all of us. Are you gonna have a better one than this one for next week? I hope so.
I don't know. I have to really, if it's my last one before you pick again, it's really got to be a doozy. So
it's got to be. No, this was a doozy. We need something that's like a floozy. A Susie.
All right, enough.
A Roozy.
Mm-hmm.
Moozy, Newsy, Toozy, Zoozy.
All right.
No more doozies. Are
you good?
I'm good. I've got it on my system.
Okay.
Tonight I will be playing a video game on the channel.
A video
game. I think I'm giving Alien a break for right now. It's pissing me off. But please join me on the Twitch and YouTube channel. I will be streaming on both those tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Sure.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Sure.
I think that's right.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Please join me because it's fun to have you guys there and talk shit about me. We had our live stream this past weekend.
Yes,
we
we
had
had that.
Saturday the 14th,
Yes, we did.
which was both the first time for both Danny and I. I think Saturday the 14th, though it is corny, is much better than Popeye.
Yeah,
I had more fun with that than Popeye.
Yeah.
This upcoming Saturday, we will be doing Surf Ninjas.
Yep.
The 1993 classic.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Oh, great.
It is 90s as fuck.
Okay. Great. I'm ready.
Yes. So please join us for that on this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yep.
I'd like to give all the times,
All the time.
All the times.
Just in case.
I gave 2. I didn't give them all, but So please join us for the next live stream. Please join me in playing some video games and trying not to suck.
Mm-hmm.
And also next week will be Danny's last film, as we said, so please join us for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else that you would like to say to the kind, sweet people listening and watching?
Thanks.
Thank you!
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. 35 episodes. This is fucking awesome.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Are you Popeye the Sailor Man? Good job. Good job. That was a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.